In 2018, the Doctor arrived in the Northern Hemisphere and teamed up with a police officer and dealt with an alien trophy hunter. I'm not talking about the woman who fell to Earth, but Hunting Ground by Big Finish.
Yes, this Sixth Doctor story released not long after Series 11 started, didn't it?
Mm,
Or, well, ended actually. Come to think of it. I mean, it was only 10 episodes, didn't last that long. Uh, Lasts longer than they do now, though, but
that's true.
getting shorter and shorter. But yeah, this was a surprising little coincidence, but I
I
know which
wonder
do I
if that
prefer.
was a casualty of the secrecy of the Chibnall era,
I don't
where
know
there
though,
wasn't that much
because
communication between the BBC and Big Finish, or
there was that War Master set that was
Oh,
gonna be
true.
a Witchfinder one, but they said, "Oh no, we're doing a Witchfinder thing ourselves here. Best to steer clear of that," which would have been the
Hmm.
third set. So yeah, I feel like this was just a coincidence that they let pass, really, because it's
Yeah.
got its similarities, but I think it's distinct enough in it, and also I think they more look for eras and locations and things rather than plot beats necessarily.
True. True.
Yeah. And I mean, while it has those similarities, I think this has a lot that it does quite a bit better.
Yes.
I mean, in how it makes sense of the hunter being there, the hunter themselves, and, the police mystery that goes
It's a
alongside that.
conspiracy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Ursa, the officer in this, gets far more to do as a police officer than Yaz ever did on TV. And yeah,
Hmm.
she's only in this one four-part story.
It's very much a Scandinavian police drama with
Hmm.
a dash of sci-fi, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very much it. And a little bit of printer ink dashed in there too, I suppose you could say.
Yes.
One
I,
of the
I
standout characters of the story is a printer,
Yeah, and
which,
you understand it completely with its all little beep beep beeps.
mm,
But I think this is wonderful. This has a wonderful charm because this was released in December, so this is like a little non-Big Finish Christmas episode. But I guess you could class it as Christmassy because hey, it's snow in Iceland.
mm. I mean, Iceland exists outside of Christmas as well, but
And that's a wonderful thing about this story is it utilizes Iceland to its advantage as
yeah, the
everything,
folklore.
yeah, everything and nothing in Iceland is alien, but they have, the whole folklore about the hidden folk, and that
Mm.
becomes very much the forefront in the resolution, which I think is really neat.
Yeah, it ties in nicely with Ursa's character as well, of her being a bit more skeptical, but her father very much being a believer.
Hmm.
And there's very much that father-daughter dynamic at the heart of this story, even though he has passed on before the story
Brutally murdered.
begins. Yeah, passed on was a nice way of putting it. Uh, yeah, the murder that starts this story off is the exact same circumstances as her father's death was.
Hmm.
Face frozen, tears solidified on his
Head in a
face.
block of
It's,
ice.
yeah, nasty stuff. And so that's what sets her and the Doctor on this path to uncovering this conspiracy, working out what this hunter is doing. I think the villains in this story as well are particularly well done, both
Yes.
human and alien. Like there's the character of Sigdor, who has this wonderful description from some of the other characters about being a shark, being this slimy businessman. It paints such a wonderful picture that pairs so well with Malcolm James's voice, who is the actor for this character. There's
I mean,
something,
the scene I particularly like is when there's no police cars available and Ursa wants to, you know, get to rescue the doctor. And he, you know, has like a sinister motive. It's very creepy. Like, you can borrow mine.
yeah, he's being very friendly about it in front of other people, isn't he? But there's that moment where the mask slips and there's
It's
something under the
gritted
surface.
teeth. Yeah.
And I think in some ways, when it comes to Doctor Who villains, the human ones can be the most terrifying when you look at characters like Harrison Chase.
Because they're
I think,
people I don't want to say see every day, but, people we walk by could be these sinister, nasty people.
yeah, monsters are more terrifying when they're not obviously monsters in
Yeah.
some ways. Yeah. I mean, speaking of monsters, you got the Hunter in this as well, who also has some very sinister motives and like things he does with his prey before he kills them. That's rather dark.
I mean, I loved the little twist with the prey in the trap with like the two-headed species, because you don't know it's a two-headed
Uh,
species, and then it's like, because it's audio, you can get away with like the gag of they've got two heads.
yeah, the Marthix. They're
Yeah, they're great.
quite a fun pair, those two. And again, adding a good bit of comedy in there. It's the Doctor. Having a fun chat with some wolves as well.
Mm.
He's very new series in style in this, isn't he, Colin?
Yes,
I
I
think.
I think this is the softer side of six. It feels like this could belong in like a classic Doctor's New Monsters in a way, the way Colin's
Mm,
written.
yeah. I mean, particularly with him flying solo in this, I think it gives that vibe of, what Tennant or Smith would sometimes do when they were solo for their Christmas specials.
Well, I think there's a lot of humor within this. I think there's a lot of ad libs from Colin within this, from the uh little noises he makes, like like
Yeah.
there's a nice cheekiness to him within it, like when they him and Ursa first meet, when he's like, I discovered the body.
Yeah. You could tell he's having fun with this,
Yeah.
and I think that fun's infectious. But then you've also got Ursa there as a bit more of a straight character to, you know, bring the tone down a bit because it does have its serious and darker moments as well. It's not a black comedy. Like, I think it balances its humor and its hard-hitting moments well.
Mhm.
It does a lot very well, this story. I think it's a neat little one. That I mean, sadly, it's fair to say we weren't too excited for it at the time, and
Yes,
then it pleasantly surprised us.
because this was a double drop for Big Finish, when it 1 month a year, when the monthly orange was going on, their double drop two releases. This was paired with Muse of Fire,
Mm.
which has Seventh Doctor, Ace, Hex, and Iris World Time and Panda. So that's exciting. So you sort of forget about Hunting Ground when it's this really lovely little gem, and it made me go, the main range was really great.
Yeah. I mean, if you're intrigued by Fire, you could check out our review for that as well. It is out now. We're doing a little trilogy of reviews again because we never know when to stop with these throwbacks to tie in with the upcoming Eighth Doctor box set. Well, not upcoming now, actually, it's out by the time this drops. Deadly Strangers. It features a story in Iceland. And so we thought, oh, we know a story in Iceland that we like.
It's Hunting
Why
Ground.
don't we revisit Hunting Ground? And that's why we're here. Yeah. I mean, closing thoughts on Hunting Ground?
I'd say it's a solid 8 out of 10 and a few beep 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 boo boo.
I think that's a fair rating for this one. I think, yeah, it's a good bit of fun. Yeah, if you're intrigued by it, I'd say go ahead, pick it up and see what you make of it.
Perfect time of year.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that said, thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time.
Beep 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 boop.